Chair.
Okay, so the first item is approval for minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read them? If we have, I would look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept as read.
Second?
Mike.
All those in favor? Aye. Signature item. Oh, actually, let's back up. We have non-pub minutes from tonight. And entertain a motion to seal these for 5 years.
I'll make a motion.
Seconded by, what did you say, Mike? Okay. And so roll call. Roxanne, yes?
Scott Ferguson, yes.
McCormick, yes.
Tracy, yes.
So now we have signature items, the 2023 abatement. Okay, so this comes. So this is all the backup from Robin and from Avatar.
I thought you had already signed.
No, she did. She can just read it. So the next item is this tax map maintenance contract. Interest for Sylvia. Yeah, well, yeah, this is all it's in. Yeah, it doesn't have bombs. Some of them just so that's something along the line. So the next item is for the tax map maintenance for the town of New Hampshire, town of New Hampshire. Those tax maps. So we can jump, there's no old business at the moment listed there, but I think we might do that. So new business. It has to be put on the agenda, so you're not on the agenda. But that's what we have on the agenda. So just before we get to that, annual report, dedication, and pictures. So, Mike, we spoke, you're going to get the picture for the front. Tracy and I spoke, she's gonna do the dedication. And the reports have been sent to, or at least an email's been out, sent out to the department heads and the other people, committees and things to, for their write-up to be back to you.
It was supposed to be as of January 31st, I got one.
Oh, okay, all right. So this is a reminder for the board.
My report's
because
ready.
I was gonna say, this is for the board of selectmen because we're behind. So that's what I'm saying. So.
She's got mine already.
Good, I'm so sure. So yes, Janet and John, you want to speak?
Yes. I
works.
go ahead.
We work long and hard on this. And we have two petition articles that we want to submit to the board.
Okay.
They are ballot articles, they have to go on the ballot.
Okay. Well, that would be up to the town clerk tax collector to take care of.
Okay. I've always determined,
Right, okay, so do you want a copy? I can
I have 85,000 copies.
Okay, so,
This is to you.
yeah, so, no, it'll go to the town clerk tax collector, because she'll need to verify these
Yeah.
signatures.
I
And then
verified it,
she'll
and I
make sure, yeah,
attested to it,
and then she will make sure that they get onto the ballot.
and I have a copy for her also. If you give that to her, we just want to get that in the record.
Yep.
Okay? And I
So
have a piece.
there'll be no, so just to be clear, there's no need for a public hearing on the holiday petition warrant. No, just saying.
I do have some other new business.
Okay, so,
and there's,
just so we're clear, so everybody knows that there's two petition warrants. The first one reads, do you favor adoption of the town manager plan as provided in chapter 37 of the revised statutes and annotated RSA? Pretty big, I guess. So, would you like to elaborate on that, as to what that means?
as to what we,
As to what it is referencing, meaning,
okay, that,
because that's what's gonna be put on the ballot, and people are
it
not
has
going
to, but it has to be put on exactly that way. That's written under chapter 37.
But what does it mean?
It means that when you vote on, when the people vote on it at the ballot, that they're in favor of adopting a plan for our town manager, the plan being everything that falls under chapter 37.
So it would be to hire a town manager.
Huh?
Is it to hire a town
We
manager?
can't hire a town meeting because we have to know that this is being voted on first, and that has to go on the ballot. However, what it does say is, chapter 37 there. Okay, under 37(2), the appointment of a manager. The selectmen of towns adopting the provisions of this chapter as herein provided shall forthwith thereafter appoint the town manager, and any who not when appointed be a resident of the town or the state. In other words, once this thing is voted on and it passes, hopefully, then you have to start looking for a town manager. You can't put this on for another, you can't wait for another year, you have to do it like yesterday.
The statute,
Yeah, go ahead, John.
the statute 37 explains all the qualifications, oath of the bond,
I think it's 37(6), tells you
the powers and duties.
of a town manager.
The town manager still is under the supervision of the Board of Selectmen. And the Board of Selectmen can remove that manager with a majority vote from the Board of Selectmen.
Okay. No, I just want,
So you still control, but he takes some of the burden away that you do.
right. No, I just wanted to make sure that, because just reading it, it isn't technically clear as to kind of
Well,
what that.
I know, I disagree with that too.
So that's why I wanted out
But
there.
if you don't submit it to the DRA this way, there's.
You want a copy of that?
Yeah, I'll attach it to this, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, right, thanks.
Kate?
A lot of questions. Does it specify as to part-time, full-time?
No.
No,
And what is the difference between a manager and an administrator?
basically, even though the selectmen have this role, an administrator takes his orders from the selectmen. A manager gives the orders to the selectmen.
No.
Well, that's the select testament.
The town manager is like a mayor and a city council.
Yep,
Well, what's the difference between that and an administrator?
The
We have administrators before.
administrator, the department heads report to the administrator. He can handle directions to the various departments. He is also, his experience, that it doesn't spell out his experience in here, but to get a town manager, he has to have certain qualifications in terms of financial, legal, education, all that kind of stuff, to help the board manage the town. The administrator is basically like, and this is not to demean that position, an administrative secretary. Does the stuff for the board, so forth and so on, but the board makes all the decisions. A town manager could be the health officer, but he also could appoint a health officer. Town manager could approve vouchers. Now, he can approve vouchers because he is not in charge per se, but he manages the budget. So he could, instead of the selectmen coming in and looking at all the things and signing them off, he could say, okay, pay that bill, pay that bill, pay that bill, pay that bill. Selectmen can still do that today, but with a list of bills. You look at the list of bills and you assign somebody to sign it on your behalf besides the treasurer, and then you sign the list of vouchers per week. If you don't like any of them on there, you have questions, you can strike them from that particular sheet. Currently, that's what you can do.
I have so many questions, but where can I, what are we reading on, RSA 37?
37.
Yeah, that's where.
Yeah, that's good all.
So what we'll have this attached to the minutes. We'll have Kim attach, how we typically attach
And then
anything.
everybody will be
Yes.
able to.
Yeah.
The second one, I don't have a copy of.
So, yeah, so wait a minute, Andrew's got a question, I think still on this first one.
Yeah.
So I just want to go back to what I think Janet was referring to. If this passes at town meeting
No, yes,
No, passes
no,
at
at the
the
ballot.
At the ballot.
Yeah,
in
Right.
March, if it passes in March, then you said that the board needs to immediately,
they need to start working as soon as possible, right?
where is this salary coming from?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a question that's not provided for
We have
in
a
this.
pretty lean salary, not a budget this year.
The research that I've done in looking at different towns, the a part-time manager would get about $60,000 a year.
That's a lot of money.
Now, on top of that, this guy is woman is well qualified. In my estimation, they should also be getting that, which should probably be another $30,000. Now, if they go on full-time, you're looking at $90,000 plus another $30,000. In the end, it could save this town money. Like he said, the health officer, you got a welfare director that would also come under him or her. David must have decided to appoint somebody to work with him on that. But there's a lot of things that the town has that fall under him.
Bonnie?
And this is not factored into this year's budget, so where would that
We
money
can
come
change
from?
that at town, that we can change at meeting.
Because you would know at town meeting whether it passed or not.
But then you're 2%, yeah, 2%.
No, so the 2%.
At town meeting, you can go over that.
Yes, the 2% can go over the town, yeah.
But right now, we're not over.
But you can only go up to 10% of the
Correct.
committee's
Yeah.
budget.
Right, correct. So the second petition is, do you favor reducing the Board of Selectmen from 5-member board to a 3-member board as per chapter 41 of the,
We don't have to spell revised.
what is
It's
that?
revised.
Revised?
Grammatically.
Statutes annotated in RSA.
It's correct on the signature sheet.
Okay, no, yes, it is.
What
So-
is that?
That's because I did it up.
That would take effect next year, next voting. So what would happen, and so I looked at this because I kind of knew that this petition was coming tonight. So what would happen is if this passed this March, next March, there would be, all the selectmen would lose their position, and it would be a 1-year term, a 2-year term, and a 3-year term posted on, that would be open. That's
Just like you did when you did the
And what's the reasoning?
Well, I was in favor. I don't know who did the petition up. I don't know if the selectmen put it on the warrant or not. But I was in favor of it, so I mean, I voted for it. But listening to some of the things people have had to say, I don't think it's working out the way I thought it would.
Have you polled the current board to see if it's working for them?
Nope. to residents, yep.
She got 20 signatures.
Meetings.
We had no problems getting signatures on this. People were
No,
like,
so Tim wants to speak, yeah?
In which way is it not working out good for the residents?
you know, there is a book that, I'm not sure if it's DRA or the Municipal Association puts out. It's called Know Your Territory. I don't know if any of you have bothered to read it, but when somebody comes in and says, you need to know your place, or I can do this job with my hands behind my back, I have a problem with that. I'm not going to mention any names. People that did this know who they are. And, I mean, not to put you on the chopping block here, but I mean, we almost had a problem when you posted the public hearing for the 3 ordinances that we put out. You did it 3 days before the meeting. Somebody could have come along and said, we did not properly post this. Thankfully, Robin had posted it well in advance and had copies. This could have created a problem.
Okay.
So you need to know, you know, you need to check. I didn't authorize you to do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop here.
Yeah.
So it is the will of the people for petition warrant article, which is fine, so these two will be put on the ballot. And it'll be up to the residents, you know, to vote and make the decision.
Yeah.
John, you
Yes,
said
I
you had
have-
some other new business.
So this just popped up this evening. Randy Barnes, who is the milfoil mitigator, invasive species mitigator, whatever it's called.
Coordinator.
Okay.
Conservation coordinator.
Whatever it's called. I forgot because I used to be the guy. So he's in charge of grant applications for the milfoil grants. Well, he's been out of town for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and he's not going to be back until after next Monday's meeting. So this is the application that you have to sign every year.
Yep.
And I looked at this, and I would like you to read the instructions. They're pretty self-explanatory, but I made it easy for you. There are 3 sets of documents. One is the grant agreement, and the chair signs right there. Okay?
Yeah, you want to bring
Name
it
and
up?
title, and you're the grantee, Madam Chair.
Grantee,
You're the
perfect.
grantee. Okay, and then there are exhibits. And Madam Chair, you sign Exhibit A, whatever the hell that is. There's no, special provision. There are none. But you have to initial.
Right, yeah.
Exhibit 2, scope of services. It says, like it always says, the diver work will be meant to ensure that the diver for task 1, task 2, you initial. I say BOS chair, that's you, Madam Chair, because you signed, you're the grantee. And exhibit 3 is payment terms, and it gives you the payment terms, 30 days, blah, 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 and that's you again, Madam Chair. And then, this becomes quite complicated. It has in the past, I've even gotten confused, but we finally got it, is the certificate, certifying officer. And that has to be somebody other than you, Madam Chair, so I put down here the vice chair.
Perfect.
So, here's the key. This has to be mailed, can't be emailed, it has to be snail mail to Amy Sugula at DES. And here's what I'll do. If you guys want to approve this and sign it later, want to look at it and sign it next Monday, I will run it up to Concord. I will hand deliver it to Concord.
That's
I think
fine. I
it's
mean,
pretty self-explanatory.
Right, no, I mean, this is what we've
Done in the
so
past. Yeah, it allows you to accept the grant.
Yeah. So that
Money.
pays for the
Yeah.
milfoil.
Doesn't have anything to do with the capital expendable trust fund, has nothing to do with that. Just has to do that you've applied for the grant, you've been awarded the grant, you accept the grant, the responsibility of the grant conditions, that's all it is. Which is right now 50% of expenditure.
John, can I ask a question? What does that do? When do they have to have that in Concord?
16, next, right.
February 16th?
February 16th, by mail only. No email, no airmail. I can hand deliver it though, but if, yeah. So I can do that. If you want to do that now, that's great.
Yeah, I'm fine with doing
And
that now.
if you want to mail that, or I'll mail it, you guys can mail it because you have the postage.
Yes, we'll mail.
If you get copies of that,
Yeah.
and file that with the milfoil grants, I have copies of that, of course I do, but I don't have your signature. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That will help with our,
Just back this.
your grants. Good enough, thank you.
I mean, we can do a motion to go ahead and move forward with the Department of Environmental Services, the mill oil grant. Someone wants to-
Does state the amount in there.
Yeah, so it says the total cost is $5,760. The grant is for $2,880, and our cost will be
Right,
$2,880.
and we have sufficient funds and/or donations to cover that, so there's no expense to the town.
So just to make, I guess, to be all clear, whatever, someone want to make a motion that we go ahead and accept it?
I'll make the motion that we accept the grant.
You go ahead and sign it, someone will second? I'll second. Tracy, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so, and we'll get this mailed out tomorrow.
Thank you very much, I
This is
appreciate
like,
it. Randy
my
appreciates it.
First, that's fine.
I did that. Oh, I may have to sign that after you. Yeah, 1 minute, Janet, let me do all this because otherwise I'm easily distracted. I'm getting old. I got all these dates going through my head and I'm thinking I'm gonna write the wrong date.
You did initial, right?
I initialed.
And dated and all that?
Dated. Like I said, it's like doing your mortgage.
Well, when it gets up there, if Amy has any problem with it, she will let us know.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
I have asked Kim that when Blue Sky sends in their checks for the cell towers, make copies of them and put them in my box so that when we get to the point where we have to put it on next year's warrant, we don't have to go crazy to look for how much they have to give. Or that you guys have to hand over to the trustee.
Okay.
So the,
Good what?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
make sure she knows the word.
She has to be regular.
so we can go through the warrant articles?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yep.
Can I ask a quick question?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So if this passes on the ballot for the town manager,
Yeah.
but the funding doesn't pass at town meeting, then what?
That's a good question.
Then that's on the Board of Selectmen, Bonnie. That falls with us. So, okay, so Kim, make a copy of
We'll have to
this
find the money.
and mail it out tomorrow. I just don't want
Do
to
you
write
want-
on it. It's going to be mailed to that.
I know, do you want it certified?
No, you can just send it regular mail, John said.
Okay.
So we'll just make a copy and put it in the milfoil grant folder and mail it out. All right, so we'll go through the regular warrant articles that we're going to put forth. So we can vote on that, so we can put whether we recommend or not. So Article A, to see if the town will vote to raise the appropriate sum of $200,000 for the purpose of road construction and paving of various roads in town. This is non-lapsing appropriation pursuant to RSA 32:7, Roman numeral 6, and will not lapse until the road construction and paving is completed, or December 31st, 2028, whichever sooner majority vote required. It would be a tax impact of 55 cents on 1,000. So I have someone to recommend it read. Accept as read.
I'll accept as read.
So Tracy, and second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
So that'll be 5. Article B, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $10,000 to be added to the Highway Department Vehicle Capital Reserve Fund previously established. Majority vote required, the tax impact would be 3 cents per thousand. So can I have a motion to recommend as read?
Make a motion to recommend.
And someone second it?
Who seconded?
Tim did. All those in favor? Aye. Article C, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $10,000 to be added to the reevaluation capital reserve fund previously established. Majority vote required. Tax impact is 3 cents on the thousand. So can I have someone to recommend as read? Second? In favor? Aye. Article D, to see if the town will vote to raise and reserve fund previously established, majority vote required. It's 1 cent on the thousand. Do I have someone to recommend as read? And seconded? All those in favor? Article E, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $1,000 to be added to the natural or man-made disasters capital reserve previously established, majority vote required. 3 cents on the thousand. Do I have someone to recommend as read? Seconded by?
Me.
Seconded Tim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Article F, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $25,000 to be added to the fire department replacement vehicle capital reserve fund previously established, majority vote required. 7 cents on the thousand. Someone to recommend.
I'll recommend.
Seconded by
Second.
Scott. Favor?
Aye.
Article G, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $10,000 to be added to the public safety complex capital reserve fund previously established. Majority vote required. 3 cents on the thousand.
Do you know the balance of that account?
Not off the top of my head, it's not more than probably 30, 40,000, because I think it's been 10,000 for the last 3 years. We can look it up when we get over there. I think that's only.
And do warrant articles go towards our 2%?
Yes.
This has been voted down by the public, so
But it's been passed each year. I thought it's been voted in each year.
I know, but the building itself.
Oh, right. Well, at some point in time, though, we have to have, it's tough for ground zero, but, all right, so I'm looking for someone to recommend as read,
I'll recommend.
seconded by, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we have 4, 1, 0. Article H, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $10,000 to be added to the medical supplies capital reserve fund previously established, majority vote required. It's 3 cents on the thousand. I'm looking for someone to recommend as read. All those,
I'll second.
thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Article I, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $50,000 for the purpose of construction, drainage, paving of the old town hall parking lot with said funds to come from unassigned fund balance, no amount to be raised from taxation. This is a non-lapsing appropriation pursuant to RSA 32:7, Roman numeral 6, and will not lapse until the project is completed or December 31st, 2029, whichever is sooner. Someone to recommend as read?
I'll recommend as well.
Someone second that?
Who
All those in
second?
favor?
Tom.
Tim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Article J, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $7,500 for the purpose of purchasing a new electronic voting machine with said funds to come from unassigned fund balance, no amount to be raised from taxation. Majority vote required. Someone want to?
Now, what happens if this doesn't pass, because we still have to buy this?
Yeah, then we have to find it in our budget.
Comes out of the budget.
But it's coming from unassigned, so, but we'll have to make that clear when we at town meeting. Would someone want to
I'll
recommend?
recommend.
All, thank you. All those in favor? Article K, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the $1,000 for the purpose of having preparing crushed stone and sand and gravel in the town pit with such materials to be used by the town for town highway projects and maintenance. Said funds to come from unassigned fund balance, no amount to be raised from taxation, majority vote required.
I'll recommend. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Article 11, first under RSA 31, 110, to be managed by the Town Conservation Commission under the provisions of RSA 31:112:11, and to authorize the placement of any proceeds which may accrue from said forest management into the conservation fund, which shall be allowed to accumulate from year to year as provided by RSA 31:113. This is map 26, lot 13, sublot 2, approximately 7 acres on Moose Mountain Road.
I'll recommend.
Scott, seconded by
Second.
Tracy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Article M, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $13,833.52 to be added to the Highway Department Capital Reserve Fund previously established. Such sum represent the amount of income received in 2023 from the cell phone tower, and said funds to come from the unassigned fund balance, no amount to be raised from taxation.
I'll recommend. Second.
That was Tim. All those in favor? The next one, we will not vote on tonight because we have to have a public hearing on. And Article O, to see if the town will vote to cap the employee contribution to healthcare costs at 13%.
I'll recommend.
Seconded by Mike. All those in favor?
I'd like to discuss this.
Oh, okay,
one.
yeah, all right, let's discuss.
Who brought this to us? I just want to know where it came from.
I brought it to the board, and it came from multiple town employees through discussion and through looking at cost of healthcare, benefits package, and then comparing it to municipalities within the area.
And what were we going to go to, 25?
Yeah, over 15 years, I'm not sure how, every 3 years it was, or every year it was gonna increase 3%.
So what did you see looking at other towns? Because I also.
It varied. It was anywhere from 100% to 90, 10, and 80, 20.
That's all I want to ask. Anybody else have anything?
So Scott recommended, Mike seconded, discussion.
I guess, who put the 13? Or is that what we're at now?
That's
That's where we're currently at.
Okay, so no discussion on anything different than 13?
Well, we could discuss.
We can have discussion on it, absolutely.
Right.
I just think 13 is a weird number.
You wanna change it to something else? Or make a recommendation?
I don't know. Do we have any public input? No?
Was it 90-10 before and it went up 3% and it's supposed to go up 3% each time?
Yeah.
Okay.
But originally it was 100%.
Right.
Hey, hearing nothing, keep going.
No, so no, but I'm just saying,
So,
I mean, we have a 2% tax cap, so everything's going up. We still have to factor in more and more each year for that. Yeah, that's not gonna work for every year.
no, but I mean, but we also don't give out a 5 or 6, 10%, you know what I mean? And we have to look at we were looking at, so we look at the school caps at 10%. I mean, granted, it might not be the same type of plans, but I mean, I think as far as, if they are considered a town employee, the teachers are, and they are capped at 10. So I think that was some of the reasoning behind that. And we do look to see what plans are. I don't think maybe the school has the ability to offer different plans, but Health Trust has worked with us to try and give us the best bang for the buck for coverage. So.
I will say, full disclosure, I don't agree with 25% either. I was always under the impression when I was on the budget committee that it should be between 15 and 20. That was my thinking though, just because that's what I've seen.
For 18.
What's that?
Go for 18 to between. It's a more rounded number, I don't like 13 either.
That's all I got.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. Hearing nothing else, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. I think that's all I like. So that's all we have. We will have another
Did
warrant
you,
article, but it won't be in
Take
the,
questions?
oh, yes, by all
was that
means, Kate.
also on G you did a nay?
Public hearing? You don't have to.
Oh, no, the public hearing is gonna be on, 2/26, we'll get it posted. It's gonna be an article to see if the town wants to go
Okay,
to
sorry.
SB2.
That's pretty.
Thank you.
I mean, it just, but we have to have a public, for that specific warrant article, we have to have. a
And
public
then
hearing.
school is at SB2.
In school is SB2.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is the board in favor of SB2?
I don't know, well, I don't think that, I don't think we have to put on there whether, because this will go at the beginning. We'll
I
have to
just
move this-
wondered, because this is the first I've heard of it, have you guys discussed this as a board?
No, not as a board. No.
I will say, I don't know, I think there are good and bads to that. I have to read more about it, honestly, for the town side. But, I was told that you could have the, deliberative session back to back with the town meeting. That,
Well, the town delivered, it'd be town
yeah,
delivered.
well,
No, but I don't want
I
to-
understand, yeah. That alone, to get all the meetings done in one day, I thought that
Well,
was
I
a great
just-
thing, but.
Yeah, I think it's, the pro side to it is, yes, the same people that are gonna be there for you're gonna have all the same people that they're gonna see the town and the school at the, you know what I mean, versus you only, some people who go to school, only some people go to town, and it's the total town budget, it's, you know what I mean, so I think it, maybe it's not a good thing, I don't know. You know, it's one of the things you find out after the fact, but, we're throwing it out there, we'll see what happens, but like I said, we have to have a public hearing on that because of that specific, because it's,
When is
On
the
our
public
side.
hearing?
it'll be 2/26. It'll be on Monday night for our meeting for 2/26. And that will be posted soon, we have to, because we'll have to follow up, we have to actually get that posted in the paper for the public hearing.
So is that it in its entirety, all of the warrant articles?
That's all the ones that the board right now, we've come up, you know, that we've come up with, so the
Plus the
majority
two
of them.
that,
So the majority of
The
them are,
balance.
say that again?
plus the two that.
Right, well, the ballot one's right, which we have no, which those will go on the ballot, and those, you know, have nothing. These will all be handled.
I just, is it closed now for warrant articles? I guess that's my question.
I think today is the last day.
Yesterday was the last day.
No,
Thank
we
you.
got Sunday, it's either today or tomorrow, it's either 2, 5,
That's
or
always
6.
closed.
Yeah, so there'll be no more petition warrant articles or any other.
Were you looking for something, Kate?
No.
She hers is on here.
Making sure that.
Hers is on here. You got it on. So. Oh, yes,
I
Andrew.
have a question on H, the medical supply. I know there was confusion last year where that was written. Is that the one that is intended for the replacement of the aid?
Sent over to legal, and it's, this is, I don't know, I'll have to take a look and see.
Remember there was confusion last year?
Yes.
on that? There was two different articles that, and it should be that earmarking for monies for the AED replacement, is what I understood. I could be wrong.
Let's take a look, see.
And next week, when we have the hearing, will we be able to know how much money is in each of these?
Yeah. Yes, you can get that. So we have, I'm gonna just, self-contained,
Because it was two articles, one to establish a fund for the AED replacement, and the other was to purchase the
Right.
glucose device.
So this is, so Article 14 actually passes this, to see if the town will vote medical equipment capital reserve fund under RSA. And then there was,
That was for the AED.
no, I don't think so, hold on, I'm sorry. Hold on to the 14. To see if the town will vote to establish a medical equipment capital reserve fund under the provisions RSA for the purpose of purchasing new medical equipment for Middleton Fire and Rescue and raise appropriate $10,000 to be placed in this fund. Furthermore, the board, so that just says medical equipment. So maybe that was to be used for the AED, but it doesn't specifically call it out because I don't think we wanted to say, be pigeonholed to say,
Right.
only can be used for the AED.
Right.
So let me find the other one. Then there was the compressor one that was called out. Automatic compression unit. Yeah, so we just, yeah, so that's, everything else was specifically called out, like the air compressor machine, the automatic compression unit. Okay, so this is, that, which was a one-time thing.
Correct.
And then this, so this is the reoccurring medical, just general
So I don't
overall.
think it should say supplies, though. Supplies should be equipment, in my mind. It should piggyback off that other one.
But, so let me send that back over, because this was sent to legal, and she sent it back, and let me
So I
see
think it
if we.
should mirror that one that was established last year for equipment.
Okay, and she even made she made comment on that, yeah, so it should be medical equipment, not medical.
Again, you might want to check with the chief, because I would assume it was the one that submitted that.
No, we didn't.
No, I don't.
I think this was to be set up in kind of an ongoing one, kind of like the, yeah, like all of the ones. that
That is
we
the one
read.
that was down the road, the word supplies.
No, let me, yeah, so let me check that, because I know Huddy came back with a comment, and I thought she might have changed the name. She goes to, I mean, she made a comment to mirror what was here, but maybe she didn't have, and I thought I'd given her what we provided last year, so I'll just double check that as well. So, yeah.
Maybe we label it.
Well, we have to see, well, no, because I think we would just go by with what was in here, because we established, and that's the name of the fund, so we would say the medical equipment. Yeah, so, and that's what was passed, so thanks for that catch, Andrew. Yes, Dan?
Whatever we sent in last year is what the lawyers approved for that, so there would be no confusion. We're not naming any specific supplies or equipment. It's a general coverage of all things that, will take care of ambulance supplies,
But it
etc.
shouldn't be supplies, it should be equipment.
Established, it says establishing medical equipment capital
And
reserve.
that's what we should
Yes,
stay at.
correct.
Yes.
So, only a couple of other items that I had. Here it is. So we are going to, just as kind of a note or whatever, we are going to post for the treasurer's position that's opening up once election is over, because that position is becoming appointed, not elected, so that will be going up, being posted tomorrow. I've given everybody the job listing, or the job description, having heard nothing back, that's what I'm gonna post. And we will be posting for the deputy tax clerk, town clerk, tax collector position as well. Those
We
will go
don't
up.
have one anymore.
Nope. So those will be posted on the town's website as well as NHMA. And the only other item that might be is the budget. And we can, I did grab my copy off the machine for the final number, so we can kind of, but we can vote on the final number next Monday night. Sorry, but I will send you everything you need, Andrea, this week. The only numbers that I think I had outstanding on here was, sorry, is the town treasurer. Okay, there it is. So second page, line 41, 50, 90, and that is just, the figure is based off of an estimating of 60, I think it's like 16 hours a week, I'm not sure, I don't have my side thing, but it's based off of like an 18 hours, $18 an hour, that's so many hours a week for 52 weeks, so it's at 7,488. There was one other email that came through, and Scott, maybe you can remember, it was from the police, and so to increase.
That was in reference to the,
Wasn't SWAT, was it?
Yeah, it was.
So if we go to page,
I believe we pulled
44?
that out.
So we had moved. We had moved the money from, we took it out of prosecution. Well, prosecution was getting, it was something, and we moved the other things to dues. But I think there wasn't, that isn't, there was some additional dues due. I think that- And we didn't account for it in this line, in the 421041. So I'll get that final figure and add that in there for next week. I just happened to think of it because Officer Swift did send an email letting us know that those dues were not included in the budget and that we need to add those in. So, and I think it was only like maybe $1,200 or $1,000. It wasn't.
Correct.
So it wasn't a large amount, but still enough that, should be included in there. So I'll update that, and if anybody has any, if they disagree with the number that I have, and the treasurer, let me know. We can come up with something different. And the only, so two other ones. So the mileage for the treasurer, so do we keep that? I think we will keep that one at, we had that at 2,000, and I think that would be fine for that. I'll incorporate the mileage.
What are we at? It did go up.
67 cents.
But it's,
I'm just saying, what are we at for this year?
Oh,
but it's year to date.
Okay. Yeah, that's not.
We overspent the 1,200 and we're going up to 2,000. So I think we're fine there. And the only other one we had talked about is potentially on the 4194 line, government building and maintenance, which is I think
Yep.
page 3, was splitting out a line for Lester, his pay, because he somehow gets inadvertently overlooked when we go to do pay. So, as long as, so I think we talked about pulling that out and adding that as a separate line in there.
Yeah, we just haven't come up with
Yeah, a number for that,
Right.
and so that way he doesn't get
Let me
overlooked.
see, like, facilities.
Yeah. So if we could find, so we
It's
just,
still gonna come under the same section?
yeah, it should be 4194-49 government, well, 4194, sorry, 4194, and then we can find one of those and we can just do like,
250,
if it's available, sure.
because it's not on here.
Right, but that doesn't mean,
Yeah, it could be.
so, that will, we'll call it whatever we wanna call it, and we'll split that out from that line 20. Yeah, whatever, so, those, so I'll have those, I'll get those updates made, and I'll get this big spreadsheet, eye strain for you, and the warrant articles over to you sometime this week, Andrea. If you don't see it from me, just send an email to the BOS, haunting me. Yeah, no, I know, I'll try and get it out to you tomorrow, or the next, by the time I leave this town on Thursday, because I will be out of town for the weekend, so it'll be done by then. Does anybody have anything else? Comments, questions? We'll start with Andrea. Minutes on the,
Should be.
Where? If I go to documents, I see 2023.
Yeah, it's in there.
so we don't have one for 2024?
No, I need to get you one.
Okay.
All right, I'll go with that.
Please.
I was qualified, right?
Okay, well, we will find, we will look, we
I
will
had
get,
somebody else mention that too.
we will take a look at that and get that situated. Just as an FYI though, and I think I've shared this with most people here in the room, but I'll share it with, if it's public, is, Tim was nice enough to put a link out on, the town's website to UNH's link to, to all towns' annual reports, but you can actually go out and look, view, like Middleton, all of the town reports from, that were available, that they were able to scan back to like 1895, I think. So, some interesting reading. So, but it's all towns are out there. It was a project that UNH did during COVID. They got some grant money, and so if you were just interested in Middleton's, you could go and look at any other town or city. Tim has provided a link out on Middleton's website, and then you might have to go in there and, it'll take you to UNH.
You touch.
Yeah, and then you'll have to go in, and you'll have to read down, but it's kind of self-explanatory as to, there's like 5 different links, but you can probably figure it out. And then you'll see the different towns that you can pick, and how is that?
I noticed, like, I was looking for some report for what your activities, like,
Yeah, I don't know. So I wanted, so actually, this is a good question. I was gonna go and see which gears are missing, because I know my friend John Mullen, who left here, said he has all of them since he's been in town. I would suspect we should have them in the town office, but I was gonna reach out to the lady, because I went to, when NHMA had their annual conference in Concord, this is how I found out about it. I went to, that was one of the sessions I went to. And so I have the names of the ladies who did it, and so I think as long as we provide that to them, and even going forward, as long as we provide them the booklet, they will scan it, upload it, and then send us back the information. So, yeah. So
So the Steakhouse has all of the towns'
Yes.
annual reports.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have an odd little thing.
Yeah.
It's bothering me.
Oh, no. Yeah, sure, Kate.
Well, it's about town history. It's
Oh.
probably specifically about your family history. These pictures in here are
Yeah.
wonderful, but the captions are fading.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'd like, if someone's brain bigger than mine, a way of detecting that or
Mhm.
copying them or something, so we don't lose the captions.
Sure.
Pictures.
It probably needs like the UV glass.
I was gonna
yeah.
take pictures of them with my iPhone, but.
I think it's just we need to just provide new just, we can provide new captions.
Yeah, but the
you know,
pictures themselves,
Right.
are they saved for someone else?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's just, it bugs me.
Okay, no, it's good point. And some of them have fallen and they're on top of the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
So, you know. Bonnie, did you have your hand raised? Yeah, Andrea, then I have a question for Bonnie. Yes.
so with this petition warrant article for going to 3,
Yeah.
I know I'd asked you how you felt it was going.
Mm-hmm.
How the board feels going to having 5 versus 3.
I'll start with Tracy and we'll go down.
Well, I've never been a board member with 3 members, but speaking from an audience point, I think it's going well. I mean, I think we work well together. We're very different people, and I like that there's more hands to do things.
Tim?
I would say that.
Well, I'm just going back this way. I'm going this way. I'm going clockwise. So be blessed.
No, I would say that I think the board works well together. I think that this past year we've had some challenges with, and it's again, employees leaving and other things, but I think the fact that we've had many hands stepping up to try to minimize the impact of how the town is a good thing. There are times when I think I'll be honest with you, when I first joined the board and there was 5 of us, I wasn't sure how we were all going to be able to work together, but I think we've done a really decent job of being able to do that.
Mike?
I like being on a board of 5. I think we all bring different ideas and personalities to the table for the town. You know, we all have different, we're all liaisons of different departments. We work with everybody. And, just off the comment of people saying that they heard stuff about they don't approve of a board of 5, I've heard the opposite, that people are glad that there's a board of 5 so that people can have different ideas, or Dan or Bonnie and Kim can come, and Andrea can come and ask different questions to each one of us. And if we don't have that answer, then we can go to one of the other board members and ask them that question and get that answer for you. But I think we've come together as a group of 5, and I think we work together pretty well.
Scott?
Yeah, I think it's been good. When it comes to major decisions or it takes that 2-person sway out of it, because I think we all, although some of us share similar opinions, I think we all have very individual opinions when it comes to the broad spectrum of a situation or a discussion. As far as finances and what have you, me and Mike may, as an overall whole, agree on something, but in certain parts of it, he may favor something that I may not, and so on and vice versa. So that variety of mentality and discussion is huge. And then as far as functionality, operational day-to-day, we're still working on that. You know, I've never been a part of the 5-person board. I wasn't on a 3-person board either, but I did interact with the 3-person boards quite a bit in the past couple of boards. So it's nice, and you know, as time's progressed, as we've gone through almost a year now, everybody has kind of fit in and picked their niche or their area that their expertise, if you will, lies in, and it's been able to, I think, bring good discussion pieces, and also it's allowed us to, instead of calling legal every time we have a question, there's somebody else on the board that might be able to point to a statute or make a phone call, or, you know, fire and EMS type stuff. Mike has a very good handle on that, you know, as far as the IT and the operational aspect of things, technical aspect of things. Tim's got a great hand on that. Roxanne, when it comes to numbers, and Tracy, when it comes to analyzing and digesting, is huge. So everybody brings a good part to it, and personally, I just foresee it with 5 getting better as everybody else, myself included, gets more comfortable, you know, in our role. At which point, I think we can start to absorb more responsibility. You know, kind of like you know, talking about town administrator, town manager aspect of it. You know, with a 3-person board, maybe that might be beneficial. With a 5-person board, once you know, as people continue to grow, take the trainings, finding admissible and stuff like that, I think it's only better. It lessens the burden on each individual. So yeah, I don't see an issue with it. But like I said, I was never technically a part of a 3-person board either. So
So I guess that was me. I was the 3-person board. So I can say that the 5-person board has its advantages as far as being able to spread the wealth. I don't know if I call it wealth. Spreading the task at hand to be done, you know, and trying to make sure we have our hands in, or be involved with the different departments and the different committees and the different, you know, like the zone, you know, the boards, the other boards and whatever, instead of having to spread yourself a lot than having to be on 2 boards, you know, it enables us to be on one, to be able to be more dedicated to that, I think. And you have 5 different opinions, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's been beneficial in that, and with the 3-person board, you have 3 people that you only have to argue with instead of 5. Not that we argue, but you know, have discussions. And so it's less opinions, the 3-person. But I think, you know, like I said, you know, we all work a full-time job, so it's pretty tough to be able to do this job as well as a full-time job. If I didn't work from home, I wouldn't be able to do this. And I can tell you, I spend a lot of time, ask my husband, I spend a lot of time in that office, in just doing the pieces that I do. So it has been helpful having, you know, being able to put some of that burden on some of the other people that are on the board, so.
All I know as a newbie is
There's a lot of people to talk
it's
to.
been it's so helpful to have everybody, because I know there's certain things I've learned, okay, I can get the, you know, what I need from here, or, you know, Tracy's had experience in this, or Tim in the IT area. It's been very helpful having much more people to get a hold of. Because like you said, you guys all work during the day. Tracy, I know it's hard to get a hold of you during the day because you can't answer. But, you know, Wednesdays, Tim is right there. You know, there's different days, and, you know, Scott pops in, you know, if there's anything you need. So it's been nice to have more people to lean on, to learn things from, so.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that aspect a lot, because of our schedules are so different that there are different times when 1 or 2 of us are there, are able to help with a question that might come up, whether it's something with Kim, something with Robin, or even with helping or working with Teresa on things in the tax collector's office. You know, we obviously with been trying to get used to what's called working together, but for the most part, I think we've been able to handle it rather well. And I mean, there's been a variety of personalities and thoughts, and the process, I think, is getting better because of what we've been able to go through together.
You all remember when the county administrator here for a few years?
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Any other comments, questions? No, any other comments, questions?
One other thing I was just gonna add to it
Well,
is
the last couple of years.
oversight, you know. With the 5-person board, there's a lot more oversight of the department as far as expenditures, operations, you know. The highway department, they see me, I'm in and out of there probably, if I had to count the hours, I would say a good 5 hours a week at least. You know, when storms are on track to come in, I make it a point to go over there, check in with them, make sure they're good to go from the storm, see if there's anything they need, so on and so forth. So I think with a 5-person board, it makes that aspect of it easier. And on the flip side of that as well, I think with a 5-person board, it's allowed us to, again, have that oversight. You know, we all know that in the past, there's been issues where select boards or select persons didn't have the answers. You know, the townspeople would ask questions in the meeting setting, and nobody had an answer, and it was, let me go talk to the department head. At this point, you know, I don't think there's many questions that can be asked that somebody at this table is not going to be able to provide the answer to. So I think with the 5-2, it's definitely allowed us to have a lot more oversight of the actual town operation.
I would like to call the petitioner for a full board for the.
Yeah.
I just think through the petitioner, maybe, I mean, I'm new to municipality, so please excuse my ignorance or whatever you want to call it. But they don't see the day-to-day that's in there and what needs to go on. Yes, I'm still hounding these 5 to get answers. Where do I go to get this? You know, where do I go to get that? You know, they can point me in a direction where I can try to get the information from. It was like there was one point I had no idea who our workers' comp insurance was. So they pointed me to it, so I went to them, got some little bit of training from them on that same thing with Health Trust. You know, they've been awesome to give me training on the website, but I would have never known without people helping me get in that direction.
So, the only thing I have left, Bonnie, is I want to ask you, so are you in favor of having a candidates night? Seeing how you signed up. So, okay, we don't, and then we won't have a candidates night. So we have an opening for 1 year selectman, 1 3-year selectman term, and then we had 2 3-year terms, and then a 1-year trustee term. Maybe that one, and then supervisor, and then there is 2 3-year school board terms, right? And I can say that we had minimum 4 people? 3 people sign up for 7 open slots, I think it was, or 5. We had less people from, more slots, so, but you were a candidate, and I just wanted to make sure, you know, we were gonna extend that if you wanted to. Okay, all
You
right.
don't want to debate yourself?
So that's a night we all get back to ourselves. Everybody. Yeah, that's, okay. So with that said, anybody have anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:40. That was Tim, seconded by Tracy. All those in favor? Aye. Thank